Okay, thank you for hopping on here. Sorry to have all the graphics done. I'm actually been working on getting the live coverage on the app. I know there was a lot of people that were asking about that. So, um, if you're watching on the app, if you scroll down, there's a little down arrow there, and you click that little down arrow, and you can type your name and you can type in a message. So you can chat in just like you would normally. Just a little bit different there. If you want to ask any questions through through the WeatherPulse app, you can do that right there. I'm echoing. There we go. Fix the echo. You can ask your questions there just as much as on Facebook too. And then the reason why I had to do this on YouTube because I was testing out the new feature here for um, the app. So next time I do a live, and I'll be doing a couple tomorrow, it'll be on the YouTube app, it'll be on Facebook, and it'll be on the WeatherPulse app. So it will be everywhere. So if you need to get it wherever you need to get it, I've got it everywhere now. That has been a pain in my side here over the past couple of days, and I'm looking at your comments as they come in on YouTube. So um, uh, amazing Grace Ranch. I hope tomorrow you will be telling us what the story. I hope so too. Um, we are going to see, and thank you for sharing on Facebook. Um, we are going to see severe weather tomorrow. No doubt about it in my mind. Um, I believe it may. I think it's going to be. Steven says the app's working good. Awesome. I know a few of you guys wanted that on there, and I wanted to make sure that was working good for you guys. So it is great. Um, okay, so and then that it's actually a new feature that just I added that on the app just probably um 5 minutes ago. So you can check that out there, or you can talk on here. So yeah, tomorrow's going to look interesting for sure, and I'm going to dive into that data here in just a few. I've got your comments here on the right side. If you don't mind, I am going to just make sure that we're good to go here. See how many people are following on there. Um, okay, so we got about a little over almost 200 or so. Just make sure you keep letting people know that we're on YouTube tonight and on the Weather Pulse app. Tomorrow, I'll be on all platforms. I was trying this new feature in the to make the app work. I wanted to be able to give you that the ability to be able to see live coverage in the app here. So, Rachel, you're welcome. I'm going to be live a good chunk of tomorrow too. So let's get into the discussion here. And remember, just throughout the update, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask those, and then I'll try to do my best to answer them towards the end here. So, still getting reports of tornadoes or finished surveys from the National Weather Service on tornadoes. We had a EF0 in Westchester that was 3 miles east-northeast of Beckett Ridge. That was on the ground for about 14 minutes. Excuse me. I need water. I had not had a chance to have water before I went live. This was on the ground for 14 minutes. Path was 11.71 miles. And that was that's the biggest tornado that we saw, or the strongest tornado that we saw on Sunday. And then we had an EF0 with 84-mile-an-hour winds in Corwin, Ohio. If you don't know where that's in Warren County. It occurred 3 miles south-southwest of Corwin. and then it ended 2 miles south-southeast of Corwin. It was on the ground for about 4 minutes. And then in Monroe, we had an 80-mile-an-hour wind tornado. Um, and then that was on the ground for 10 minutes, 1 mile northeast of New Miami, and then 2 miles south of Middletown. So we had those. And then today, the National Weather Service just confirmed Ripley County, Indiana, had an 80-mile-an-hour wind tornado, EF0, on the ground for 2 minutes, started 2 miles west-southwest of Napoleon, and then ended 1 mile south of Napoleon. So those are the tornado reports that so far from the National Weather Service's surveys, and I wanted to go over all of those because it helps kind of tell the story here for what we're going to see tomorrow night. So when I go through the data here shortly, I want you to be thinking about all of these tornadoes that occurred. They were small, brief tornadoes, and I want you to think in the back of your mind when I'm talking. I'm going to try to compare the two events to maybe help you set the proper expectations for tomorrow. Um, uh, Gary, thanks. You're welcome. Christy, you're welcome. And then Angie, I am trying to get to bed early tonight. I'm trying to get a little more sleep tomorrow morning. When you I'll explain this to you. So, the Storm Prediction Center puts out the day one risk outlook at around 2 o'clock in the morning. And in my passion's weather, and it's been that for a very, very long time. And you tend to, it's almost become habit to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and pull up spc.noaa.gov and check and see what the latest update was from the Storm Prediction Center. I know that's crazy, but I think you got to be a little bit of craziness in you to be able to do this, because it over the next 4 or 5 days, it's going to be pretty insane here, and you're going to get sick of seeing me. Okay, so let's talk about tomorrow evening. Storm Prediction Center has a enhanced risk of severe storms for our area. It's a level 3 out of 5. I do not show marginal. Nothing really ever occurs when we have marginal, so that's why you probably don't see it. And on here, and then you notice off to the left, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, that we have a moderate risk of severe storms as you go towards Louisville, just west of Louisville. I know the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth is, Chris, do you think we're going to go under a moderate risk of severe storms tomorrow? And what I will tell you is I do think that there could be a few areas, maybe from Madison, North Vernon, those areas, maybe even Versailles, Greensburg area, could very well go under a moderate risk of severe storms tomorrow. Does that matter? No. What I want you to understand is even though there is now a moderate risk of severe storms to our west, it really helps you kind of understand what threat level you really are in. So you're at a high-end threat for severe or enhanced as you go into southern Indiana, southeastern Indiana. Then you're, in that enhanced threat in the middle of our counties, and then to the east, you're at the lower end of that enhanced risk. So it kind of helps you out there. It helps you see to the west, it's going to be more significant. To the east, it's going to be less significant. So hopefully that kind of helps you see things as is. Now, tomorrow, I think everyone except for areas to the south and east of Cincinnati is going to see probably some significant severe storms tomorrow. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has, and just remember the areas that were in play on Sunday night. It was areas like Madison, Versailles, VV, Lawrenceburg, near Lawrenceburg, Scottsburg, North Vernon, Bedford. Those areas were in that significant tornado threat. Now the entire area is under that significant tornado threat for tomorrow evening. And it was pinpointed very well Sunday evening. And I will show you here in just a little bit why I agree with this. Might be a little bit further east than what I want it to be, but I'll show you kind of here in just a few. You know what? I wonder. I'm gonna try a thing here real quick. Hang on. Might have done it. if you guys run into any errors, or if there's any buffering or anything, let me know. I'm gonna see if this threw it on Facebook. I'd be shocked if it did. Okay, it didn't. It was worth a thought. I'm trying new software, so. Oh, it did do it. That it did. I guess not. Okay. Anyway, I had a thought, so didn't work. Maybe next time. Okay, back to the forecast. Okay. So then Thursday, there's another risk of severe storms, severe weather, mainly along and south of 71. You're in southeastern Indiana. So just be aware of that threat. And I'm so sorry for yawning. I tell you what, I'm still tired from Sunday. And then Friday, we have a slight risk of severe storms. And then guess what? Saturday, not here yet, but I think they're going to jack this severe weather risk. You can see it there at the bottom of your screen, at the very, very bottom of your screen, down there towards Harrison County, Kentucky, under a slight risk of severe weather. Okay? I think that'll go north. Because once all this stuff kind of moves out, we'll have one more push of some storms that'll move through here. On top of that, we've got a flood watch. A flood watch is in effect for the entire area through Sunday morning. I think it's been well advertised how much rain we're going to see. It's going to be a lot. Your greatest potential for flash flooding will likely be tomorrow night into tomorrow morning. So just be aware of that. As for right now, that's what it looks like in the data. And then on top of that, we have a wind advisory. The wind advisory, mainly for tomorrow afternoon, is going to be for wind gusts anywhere between 35 and 50. It's going to be hard at times, I think, to get to gusts to 50. I think 45 is a really, really good bet, but there's still going to be some of those areas, one or two, that'll hit towards that 50. All right, let's get into the discussion and talk about what's going to happen. So right now, I think, what is our temperature? It's cold outside. In my opinion, it's cold. I think it's cold. I don't know about you. What is the temperature right now? We're at 49. And we've got a dew point of 39. So you automatically know we cannot have severe weather with dew points in the 30s. We don't have enough, that's not enough moisture. It's dry. So through the day today, I don't know if you've kind of maybe watched, I mean, you probably don't, but dew points were down in the 60s towards Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Now they have pulled all the way up into parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, as the system's really getting going. So you'll watch as we go through the overnight period into tomorrow morning, these dew points are going to surge up to the north, okay? And that is what's going to really make it feel juicy tomorrow afternoon, with temperatures being in the low 80s. So get ready. Tomorrow's a great day other than the wind, but get ready. It's going to be pretty juicy as we head into the afternoon. Going to feel more like summer. If this goes too fast, I'm going to come back. But here's what we're looking at. In the morning, there is a chance for a shower or a thunderstorm with the warm front lifting north. I don't think it's widespread, but it's there. This is Wednesday evening. You'll notice there's a couple little individual cells. You'll see that one towards Greensburg. If that gets going, that's not good. That would be a supercell and would have the possibility to rotate. And then we'll watch this line. This is at 10 o'clock for Greensburg, Connorsville, North Vernon, right on your doorstep. Then we get to 11. It's moving through southeastern Indiana. And you got to watch. You see these little notches, just like Sunday night. Every one of those little notches will have that ability to rotate. And you see that as we get along towards the Indiana-Kentucky border there into Ohio. And that continues, and you can tell it looks more like a damaging wind threat as we get to about 1 o'clock in the morning. So then that thing will start to sag more in a east to west orientation. And that is when the system will stall out over top of us. And we'll see a period of very, very heavy rain that'll continue through the morning hours. And then it's going to lift back up to the north. And you'll see in the data, just like that, towards Thursday afternoon, when we have our next threat for severe weather, we have more heavy rain that's going to move in. So that's what we're kind of looking at here on the data. And then I'll show you, I wanted to show you the future radar, and then we're going to come back to it for timing. But this is storm fuel. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Notice our winds are coming out of the south. We have very, very high fuel or CAPE value as we head into the evening hours, way more than we did on the last system. And you watch the winds, there's somewhat a little bit of shift, very, very little, from a southeasterly wind that'll help give us just a smidge of a spin. And then we get to midnight and you notice as that front, or that the line is moving through, we start to cut off on the fuel. The fuel values that Sunday night were not as much as this. So we're times 2, times 3 on the fuel values for Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And here's those values you can see, and this is the HRRR model, and I will tell you, it does run high at times, but these are higher than what we saw Sunday night. And this is what I want you to take away from this image, if anything. Okay, so you see Madison, near let's say Owenton to the west, in southeastern Indiana too. You're going to have units of near 1,000 of potential energy. You'll be in the 500 to 800 range in the central parts of the area along 75. But then notice how much it drops off as you get into the eastern communities like Maysville, Georgetown, Hillsborough, Wilmington. That's a good indication that that's probably where we'll really start to see the line cut off. Now, what's different? So that's number one. That's different from Sunday. We have more fuel. So think about your car. Okay, if you have, one of those high-end vehicles, and you're only putting the regular gas in, and you're not putting the premium in, you're not going to get as good as a performance on that vehicle. We're getting a little bit better fuel in this car versus the last car. The last car probably had a 4-cylinder engine in it. This one has a full-blown turbo, whatever, diesel engine, whatever you want to call it. Here are the winds a mile above your head, and what that is winds that the storms can tap into. You'll notice during the day they're strong, they weaken a little bit, and then towards the when the line moves through, we see some pretty strong winds aloft, anywhere between 70, 80, some spots near 90 mile an hour. And that will really, really help these storms go. So even though we are still losing some of that fuel in the eastern parts of the area, I think we just move into more of a damaging wind mode as we get into the eastern sections of the viewing area. Let me show you. This is Thursday. Once that line's moved through, and it may, just a minute. There we go. So you'll notice that we just stick in this pattern through Friday of rain hovering the Ohio River. Friday night into Saturday, we have more storm fuel, so we'll need to be aware for more potential for severe. It stops here at 2 a.m. Saturday, but you get the trend here. We just deal with showers and thunderstorms on and off throughout the entire period. It's going to be all the way through Sunday. It's going to be very, very active. If you didn't get your timing that you needed, I'm going to go back to that in just a minute. Just make sure you just shout that out in the chat, and I'll be able to answer your timing questions. So here's future radar, and future radar is still showing significant rainfall amounts. Some of the data has come down on some of the rainfall amounts. So anywhere between, I think, 5 and 9 inches of rain area wide, a good bet. Now, in you guys in Scott County, Indiana, Jefferson County, Indiana, some of you guys do follow in Clark County, Indiana too. you guys are ran from the National Weather Service in um, Louisville. And I just wanted to just mention what they said. I just gotta find this here. Life-threatening flash flooding in some areas. To put QPF values into historic reference, the 6-day total of the March 1997 flood was 13.69 inches in Louisville. Following is the March 1964 flood, which was 12.31 inches, and then the January 1937 flood was 10.31 inches. If these QPF forecasts verify, this will be a rainfall and potential flooding of historic proportion. And I do think that's for a good chunk of the area what they're mentioning here. If we do see this over a long period of time, right now, the data is showing from the National Weather Service, they send out forecasts for the along the Ohio River, those gauges. I think it shows at Cincinnati it's going to be around 42 feet. That's where it's going to be at action stage as we get past towards this event here or after the event. So we're going to run into some major flooding problems, as no doubt, as we get past this here over the next several days into early next week. So here's the excessive rainfall. This is a product issue from the Weather Prediction Center. And you'll note a slight risk is for the entire area, but you guys in Scott, Jefferson, Trimble, and Jennings County are in that moderate. Same, you pretty much just read it as southeastern Indiana, northern Kentucky regions. You're in for it. Same thing on Thursday. That potential is there. It does look like things kind of back off a little bit on Friday, but then we're still back in it on Saturday with a moderate potential. Now, we don't get issued moderate excessive rainfall outlooks very often. It's typically marginal to slight. So that shows you, I think the statistic was like we get maybe 30% a year, something crazy. It was very, very small compared to all the warnings we get all the time for severe and tornado. So here's a rundown of that severe weather outlook again for tomorrow. And it is a enhanced risk of severe, and it is that's a level 3 out of 5. Damaging winds, tornadoes. I do think we will have that potential, especially from 71 the 75 corridor and points west for destructive winds, and there could be a strong tornado, and a strong tornado could be an EF2 tornado. That area that really I would be focusing on would be Madison, Scottsburg, North Vernon, Versailles, VV, Greensburg area, maybe even Carrollton. Those would be the zones that I would be concerned about for a potential strong tornado. And this is the significant tornado threat for tomorrow evening, too, from the Storm Prediction Center. And that, remember, last time was less. So if we think about everything that I just discussed, last system was less fuel, less wind energy. This one has more wind energy, more fuel. That means only one thing: more severe weather, likely stronger than the last time. And you go back and you look, we had 4 tornadoes in the area Sunday. So I need you to put it in perspective of what we're going to see. Hopefully that helps you. So we're going from 4 EF0 tornadoes, and we're timesing it by 2 the potential for severe on tomorrow night. So it's going to be a very, very active one as we get into tomorrow evening. I know the question always comes up from you guys is, hey, are we going to go under a tornado watch? Are we going to do, I have almost gotten to the point to where when a tornado watch is issued, it just doesn't surprise me, especially if you're in an enhanced risk of severe weather. You're bound to get one tomorrow. You're going, you see the enhanced risk, you go, okay, we're going to get a tornado watch at some point tomorrow. You go under moderate, same thing. You think the same thing. Slight risk, you're like, well, are we not? Are we going to go on thunderstorm watch? This is a little bit different. But yeah, I do think that most, if not the entire area, will have some type of warning tomorrow. And I think most, I mean, everyone will go under a watch at some point tomorrow based on everything that I'm looking at here. Actually have new data rolling in now. And maybe I can pull that up here. I know you guys do have questions. I want to go through future radar again here in just a minute. Let me just check and see. I got the full thing here, and I might be able to. Let me make this full real quick. I'm gonna put back the Storm Prediction Center risk. Bear with me. I see your comments in here. Hang tight. I'm gonna see if I can get the new HRRR model run on here. I'm not going to be able to get the 48-hour one, it looks like, but that's okay. Actually, I should be able to. Let me try one more thing. I do hate showing every model run, but sometimes when we're doing live video updates, I can kind of we can look at it together and kind of look at things. It definitely is still on that trend of weakening the line once it gets to our area. I still think southeastern Indiana, even with looking at the new data coming in, is going to stand the best chance for a tornado tomorrow. That thought has not changed at all. Really, this doesn't really change a whole lot. It just changes. It just changes the look just a little bit. So it may load, it may not. It's not going to, so it's fine. Let's do this. Let me finish the rest of this, and then I will answer your questions. So, give me just a second. Gotta load this back in. Okay, it's not going to do that. Cool. All right. There's a significant tornado threat. So here are the breakdown again. Here is the breakdown again on the potential for damaging winds is high, flooding is high, potential for flooding is high, and then the tornado potential is, or flooding potential should be high. Tornado potential is moderate. I did not update that today. So those are the breakdowns there. And then when we get past the extended forecast, past the 7-day, we move into a period of 8 to 14 where it's well below normal. And that well below normal period will spell temperatures for us in the upper 40s when our average temperature is around 60 for this time of year. So I'm not very happy about that, and you probably aren't either. Okay, so let's go over the forecast real quick. Tomorrow we're going to warm up fast. Tomorrow we're going to get into the middle 50s by 9. There's a storm chance. Don't forget about that in the morning. The chances are, and I'm going to show you on radar in just a minute, live radar. There's storms flying up now into parts of Illinois. We'll have to watch those. 72 at noon, and then we get up to 80 degrees right around 3, 4 o'clock, and hang out there around 6 o'clock. So your 7-day forecast looks like this. We have the Wednesday at 81 degrees. That may be 81 or 82. So weather action days for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday for severe and flooding, Friday for the potential for severe, and then Saturday severe and flooding. And then Sunday will be a morning rain chance. Will start to clear out, and then you notice those cooler temperatures as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week. So it will get a lot cooler here across the tri-state. And then, hey, just so you don't mind, download the WeatherPulse app if you haven't already. $2.99 in the App Store, one-time payment. So that is in there. You guys that are following me already have it, that are on the app right now, and maybe you guys on YouTube do not. So hopefully that really helps you guys out. Let me answer some of these questions. Give me just a minute here. Let me go up to back up here. Caleb saying we're getting slammed in Southern Indiana already this year. Going to be an interesting. Yes, this is a very. This will probably be one of. This will probably be a. This is going to be the active week that you know, we say we don't get much weather around here. We do this year for sure. Let's see. Do you think schools will do an early? Charlie, that's up to the schools. I don't think so. I mean, I would think that maybe some evening activities might get canceled, but schools should be fine. And then, so yeah, let me go back to the future radar. I'll just do it on here. There we go. All right. So there's the warm front lifting through in the morning. Gets out of here about 10 or so. And then we'll watch for renegade storms that could fire. That would be after 6 o'clock. There's a strong cap in place tomorrow. And it would be 8, 9 o'clock when that cap would potentially break. And that storm near Greensburg could be a concern. May not be there at that specific location, but it could be close. You'll see 10 o'clock for Decatur, Jennings, Union, Fayette. 11 o'clock as we get into Ripley, Franklin, Scott, Jefferson, Jennings, Dearborn, Ohio, Switzerland. And then Trimble, Carroll, Gallatin, Boone, Kenton, Hamilton, Butler counties by midnight. And then by 1 o'clock, we're looking at Campbell, Bracken, Mason, Robertson, Grant, Owen, Brown, Highland, Claremont, Adams, into Warren and Clinton counties as well. So hopefully that helps you. Hale, you should be able to get out of CV just fine tomorrow evening. Hopefully you're going somewhere warm. What's the timing for St. Paul, Indiana for server storm? St. Paul just went through there, and I will do it again for you on future radar. That blotchy said could turn into a super belt with rotation, looked like it was hovering right over us. Don't focus on exactly of that placement of that storm. That just says southeastern Indiana is favorable based on this model run that a supercell could fire. It doesn't mean it's going to happen in Greensburg, but that time would be 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. and after. And then you're probably 9:30 to 10:30 for the St. Paul. 9:30 to 10:30 for the St. Paul area. And then let me just check on YouTube here. Okay, no comments or questions there either. So I did want to show you radar real quick if you're still hanging around here. We do have some showers and storms that are starting to go up here into the Illinois area that I thought was interesting. So we've got those starting to go up now near Springfield. Tracking those there. And then I'm watching the activity that's out here in the Nebraska area. Numerous tornado warnings out there. Wichita. There were storms that were in Oklahoma. I wonder if they were under a tornado watch. I thought the whole area of Oklahoma was under a tornado watch. And they dropped it, I guess. Cat might have been too strong. I don't know. Okay. All right. So, hey, thanks for being my test here. I wanted to make sure that every it was working on 2, and I needed to just make sure that the YouTube. There's a weird thing that happens with YouTube, streaming to YouTube and the app, and I just wanted to make sure that those 2 were not going to cause problems. And it does not look on my end that there's problems, and you guys didn't say anything, so we should be good. Be back live tomorrow on Facebook, YouTube, and the app. So just be aware of that. Don't won't have changes there. And then there was one more thing. And then if you're on YouTube watching right now, it looks like there's 46 to 50 of you still. Make sure you subscribe to it so you get alerted when I go live for severe weather coverage. So, okay, it is 10 o'clock. This was a long update here. So that's it for now. And I will chat with you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.